Everyone, welcome back to the series. If you're new here, welcome. We are taking Ryu all the way from rookie ranks up to master, one grade at a time. We are up to Diamond 2. So if you are new to the series, maybe go back and have a look at some of the earlier videos, because we are really into relatively niche, still very powerful stuff, but also quite advanced. And this time we are talking about so-called single hit confirms, which is where I try to push out a button like Heavy Punch that has a very big cancel window, a very large number of frames in which I can cancel the Heavy Punch into something like Fireball or into Drive Rush. And now I want to only do that cancel if I hit. Whereas if Jamie blocks, I don't want to cancel. Nice, I actually managed to demonstrate it. This is a very difficult skill. I'm not good at it. I think it's one of the defining characteristics of high level players is that they are very capable of single hit confirming. This was one of the defining features of Street Fighter V, where many low forwards like this could be hit confirmed. They had big cancel windows. They no longer do. Nowadays you can usually only hit confirm off some heavy buttons. Ryu's got two that are quite important. There's the Heavy Punch, which we're going to be talking about a bit later, and there's the forward heavy kick, which we're going to talk about now. So the forward heavy kick is not really worth it in the mid screen because you can't get all that much damage off it. It's 16 frames and that's the same as a fireball. So it's probably better just to throw a fireball, although the forward heavy kick is a few frames faster. It's about 8 frames less total frames. So it does recover a bit quicker if you get jumped in on or something like that. But the real use of this button is in the corner. If we know that our opponent likes to press things like this, right? Likes to press crouch medium kick in that situation or regular medium kick, right? Why is that? Because we can do something like this. Let's put him on block all. Boom. Does really good damage and goes really well into level 3 super because it's all heavy hits. Heavy kick, heavy OD Tatsu, heavy dragon punch, so there's very little scaling when you go into that level 3 super. Now this is a spacing trap, right? So we're standing out here, we know that at this range our foot hits him, but his reply buttons won't hit us, right? And we hope that by Diamond, players are pretty good at choosing the right buttons. So when we kick him, he's not going to jab because he knows that's not going to reach us. He's going to try to check us with one of these longer range buttons because we're at -4. So he knows it's his turn. But he thinks that he can reach us with one of these buttons and he can't. So the simple version of this strategy is just to mash out forward heavy kick, right? So just do it twice. But in order to get really good at that, what we actually want to do first is just practice single hit confirming from this position. So we're going to put Jamie onto block random. We're going to turn off his reversals. And now we just want to be buffering the OD Tatsu. So we're going to hit forward kick and then we're going to buffer the directional inputs for OD Tatsu. Have a look there on the left-hand side at the top of the screen, what my inputs were. Forward heavy kick. And then I did quarter circle back, but I didn't press the kick buttons. Right, that's buffering. So I'm pressing forward heavy kick and I'm buffering the OD Tatsu. Right, once you've got the hang of that, which shouldn't take you very long, then you just want to start trying to get in the habit of only pressing your 2 kicks if you hit Jamie with the forward heavy kick. And then finish your combo. Right. Oosh, I went too early there. Was too slow. Didn't believe. Ah, no. Nice. I wasn't bad there. I always tend to input the Dragon Punch on the level 1 super too early after OD Tatsu. I don't know why. But anyway, so practice that. It's a really, really good entry point to single hit confirming. Now, then do the opposite. So put Jamie on block all, right, and get his reversals on. So he's got that medium kick and crouching medium kick reversal. And now just practice like spamming this out. Right, but try to visually confirm that he's put out that kick, right? But here we're mostly just working our spacing, because you can see that if I'm too close, then Jamie's medium kick will hit me. Right? There we go. That's where we want the spacing to be. Now go in and put him on occasionally also just going backwards, right? And now you can spam out the heavy kick, but you'll have to check that he actually does press one of his buttons, right? Because if he's just blocking, then it won't work. Oops, let's get our spacing right. There we go. Now the nice thing about this drill is that we're mostly just spamming this kick button, right? But we still have a little extra thing for our brain, which is to visually confirm that Jamie does in fact press kick. And when you see him visually do that, then you can input the OD Tatsu really quickly. You don't really need to buffer the inputs for the OD Tatsu. You can just input it quickly because your brain will register that you're about to get a whiff punish counter. There we go. All right. I find that to be relatively easy. And this is quite realistic. So this is the sort of situation you'll have in a match. You'll just be spamming this out, and then occasionally you'll visually register that Jamie did a button of that sort. Ooh, I was too close. Ooh, I was too late there. I wasn't spamming it out enough. But that's the kind of situation you're going to have in a match. Like, you will have this extra visual cue that Jamie tried to press a button there. After you've gotten that kind of down, you should be able to integrate it into your matches at that point. So at that point, start to kind of play casuals maybe and just focus on getting this into your arsenal. Once you've got that, then we want to make it more complicated again, and we go back to putting Jamie on random block. And now what we're going to be doing is mashing out the forward heavy kick, but also trying to confirm the initial contact. Right, and this I suck at. Like, this I'm so bad at. Oh, see, I should have OD Tatsu there, right? Nice. Oh, should have confirmed. Should have confirmed. Oh, I wasn't mashing it hard enough there. Oh, and then I was too close. Oh, I didn't get the cancel. But anyway, you get the idea. So we're trying to confirm the initial hit there, and if that doesn't go through, then we press it again and try to confirm the block cancel. And you can make this a little bit easier on yourself by turning off this block. So you know that if he blocks, then he's almost always going to come out with another button, and you start by visually confirming that, right? So you know he's going to press that button there. I should have confirmed that one. Shouldn't have confirmed. That was a bad confirm. Remember, the bad confirms will lose you the match, right? Because you have corner pressure here. All of a sudden, he's going to have corner pressure on you after doing a max damage combo. Ah. Nice. Alright, and then once you've got the hang of that, then put the backwards back in. And then if you can do this really smoothly, and only go into OD Tatsu when you get hits and not when he blocks like that, then you'll start to have a really menacing tool in your corner combo arsenal. And this is a really good button in the corner for two reasons. One is that after this sequence, we're often going backwards when our opponent blocks, and it basically leaves us about here. So we come back to here to check jump outs, right? But if our opponent doesn't jump out, then this is a really good option, right? We're at exactly the right spacing to do it. The other time this button is really nice is after we do level 3 super. Jamie will hopefully cooperate with me. Yeah. So Ryu's level 3 super does not give him Oki. Other characters get Oki, and that sucks. It feels really unfair. So look at where I am now, right? Just trust me for a fact that Ryu has no Oki options here. Like OD, Fireball, nothing. It's all bad, right? Other characters like Marisa can get Oki here, and that feels unfair to me, and I think that should be taken away, because after you get hit by a level 3 Fireball, level 3 Super, you shouldn't still be in the mix-up blender. But anyway, Ryu doesn't have Oki, but at this spacing, your opponent can't jump out. So just chill for a second, and then go in and use this pressure on them. right? Because you're basically in the spot you need to be. So those are the two kind of situations where I think putting this into play is really useful. And it's really useful against people that just love to try to use this to get out of the corner, especially people who do it this way, right? So they're hoping that to block this, and then when they block it, they'll just do that and drive rush out and try to throw you into the corner. Those are the people where you can wreck them with this button, because when they block and then press that button, you'll be able to cancel. All right, so get that one into your arsenal. And once you've got that into your arsenal, then we come into the mid screen. And now we introduce heavy punch single hit confirming, which is super duper hard, but a really big part of master level Ryu. And if I continue to play Ryu, I will be spending hours and hours trying to practice this. All right, so basic idea here is that we want to only press drive rush when we get the hit. Right? If Jamie blocks, then we just want to chill. Right? Or if you're godlike, so Paladin, for example, the highest ranked Ryu, he actually tends to put in a fireball. So he doesn't, I don't think he buffers any directional inputs, but maybe he does. Maybe he buffers fireball, and then if he hits, he presses the drive rush button. And if he doesn't hit, then he just presses punch and gets the fireball. Right? And that way, if you do hit, you're going to deal 14 damage. But ideally, you would go into the drive rush when you get a hit, and otherwise you just go into the fireball, which kind of resets the neutral. And then the extra layer is that sometimes you just keep pressing heavy punch, and sometimes you just press it and go backwards. Why is this so powerful? Well, the main thing to understand is the frame data of heavy punch. So on block, let's have Jamie block the whole time. On block, heavy punch is -2, right? I've got to turn off his reversal so that you can see. You saw that his medium kick there, which is longest range poke, whiffed. So heavy punch has mad range. It's got almost as much range as a sweep. It's got basically the same amount of range as medium kick, right? It pushes your opponent back quite a lot. So it is actually a pretty useful frame trap, but a spacing trap, but that's more of a master's level thing. But it's only -2. So you've got this mad range like this, almost as much range as your sweep, and your opponent can't punish you afterwards, right? So you can fish with it. The problem is that if you do hit, you don't really get anything from that hit, typically, right? So if we put him on random and we hit, so we hit him for 800 damage, like that's pretty cool, but we're only +4. So now we can't follow up with any button because we're too far away from him. But if you can do this drive rush cancel, then you can follow up, right? But if we drive rush cancel when he blocks, it's not the end of the world, but it's not a particularly efficient use of drive gauge. So really what we want to be doing is only going into the drive rush cancel when we hit our opponent. And then this button becomes incredible as a bullying tool, right? So you punching people with it and they're blocking, but they can't do anything. They can't reply with any sort of button. If Jamie were to try to reply with, say, crouching medium kick, the high level players, they'll see that crouching medium kick and they'll know it's going to whiff there, and then they'll just punish it with their own like that, right? And that is brutal, right? So brutal. So it's a really nice spacing tool in that way, where your opponent has to be really guessing about what the spacing is like, because Ryu's body compacts at the start of this button, so it actually drags his hitbox backwards. It's got mad long range, and then afterwards it retracts again. So it's quite hard to tell how far Ryu is going to be from you when you press your button. And so being able to whiff punish with this button on autopilot like that, or confirm into the drive rush, really makes this a hugely potent tool for this kind of danger zone neutral, because it allows you to sit right on the edge of the danger zone and only start to act if you've got a good situation for yourself. And otherwise you can just bully your opponent, push them into whiffs, this kind of stuff, right? So hugely powerful button, but only really becomes hugely powerful once you can do this kind of drive rush confirm stuff. So you want to just get into that habit. Start by putting the dummy onto random block, and all you're going to practice is only pressing drive rush when you hit, So I should have pressed it there. Ooh, I pressed it late there. Whoops, too soon. Let's take Jamie off reversal, so we don't need to worry about that. So we're also learning our spacing here. Whoops. Alright, so that's what you want to practice. This is really, really hard. I think that over my time playing Street Fighter, I've probably done about 10 hours in training mode just on this, and I still not very good at it. But it's really, really good. So if once you get into these higher diamond ranks, this is something you want to start using. And if you start using heavy punch like this, then you'll have the same situation that we had in the corner with forward heavy kick. Is that sometimes as you're pressing heavy punch, you'll see that your opponent put out a medium punch or a jab or something like that. And so your brain will visually recognize that it's about to get a whiff punish, and then you'll find it easier to go into the drive rush cancel at that point without any kind of major risk. So I think this is a useful button to start integrating into your arsenal even now, even though you won't be able to single hit confirm it. Because if you do drive rush behind it and they're blocking, it's not the end of the world. Like, you're still plus in their face, especially if you've got good confirm, so that when you hit, you go into heavy punch, and when you block, you go into crouching light punch, or you go into throw, which is also fine. Then, like, it's not the end of the world, but as you get better, then you'll be able to confirm it more effectively. Man, this guy does not want to block, does he? Oops, should have confirmed. All right, so you get the picture. And then, once you've got that, which will take you ages, but maybe you also want to add in Jamie doing some stuff. So sometimes he's just going to go backwards. Sometimes he's going to parry. Sometimes he's going to try to press a medium kick or press a crouching medium kick. Sometimes he's going to light punch, right? And now you have a slightly more realistic situation where you can even try to get some whiff punishes, right? But mostly you're just working on single hit confirms. Wow, nearly had it there. Oh, no chance there. Right, and this is the drill. Do I have him on block random? Yeah, he just doesn't want to block. Oh, I was too close. So also going to help you learn your spacing there. Oh, he baited me with the jab. That is actually a high level neutral. You actually do sometimes want to, like, if they're looking for this, then you put that out and they think it's that, and then they try to whiff punish you and they whiff, and then you can whiff punish that. All the layers of footsies, but we don't need to worry about that in Street Fighter 6 until we're like 1900 MR. Alright, so you've got two drills there. One for forward heavy kick, which I think you should prioritize and really get that in your arsenal, because it won't take you too long to get it into your arsenal, and it is a really useful pressure tool in the corner. And then also using heavy punch more in the neutral, and not just heavy punch fireball, but trying to get into the drive rush. Alright, see you in the next video.